iOS 18 was supposed to mark a new chapter in Apple's legendary journey, but instead of a polished experience, users were hit with bugs, instability, and unexpected glitches. From everyday iPhone users to top tech YouTubers, the feedback has been consistent. This version is one of the roughest in recent memory. So, what went wrong with Apple's well-watered garden? And why is one of the most valuable tech companies on earth, known for its seamless operating system and stability, suddenly struggling with bugs? Let's look at some of the most widely reported issues on iOS 18. Massive battery drain and overheating, especially after the updates, touchscreen input lag or total unresponsiveness for a few seconds, notifications not appearing or coming in late, or on the other hand, AI summarizing notifications in the worst ways possible, deleted apps randomly reappearing after updates, media auto-playing, podcasts and YouTube videos suddenly start without user input. And I've seen a big tech YouTuber actually talking about his experience with iOS 18, and he had a weird bug of the gallery app, or the photos app in this case for Apple. When trying to open it on macOS, is straight purple. It looks purple. He has to restart his entire system for it to reset, and it happens once a few weeks. When you depend on your phone every day, things like missed notifications or overheating aren't just bugs. So in today's video, we'll look at what happened and what are some possible causes. Hi guys, my name is Reynald, welcome to the channel. I'm on my way to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so please hit that subscribe button. Also, let's get this video to 100 likes, it would mean so much to me. Leave your comments down below, I'll read them all. Thank you. Starting with the possible cause number 1, old code foundations. Let me explain with a simple analogy. Imagine building a house in 2007. It starts with a sturdy foundation and the first few stories. Every year you build newer floors, and with each year construction technology gets better. Heavier and more efficient bricks, more complex and packed with modern features. But you never go back to reinforce that original 2007 foundation. Eventually cracks start forming. The original base wasn't designed to handle all this weight. That's exactly what happens in software development. The programming language, frameworks, and libraries are like the bricks. Over time, new functionalities, more demanding features, and external libraries get added. But the core code, the foundation in this case, remains outdated. iOS has been built on, and new floors, stories were added. The older foundation wasn't updated or kept in touch very well. Unless Apple rewrites or refactors major chunks of that legacy code, every new layer becomes more fragile. And that fragility is what users might be experiencing right now in iOS 18. I don't know how big of the probability this might be, but when you're working with such big amounts of codes and you need to keep them optimized pretty much every month and keep them organized, this might have a huge chance of happening actually. What about the reason number 2? Rushed AI integration. For years, Apple was famously cautious about artificial intelligence, and for a good reason. We don't want to end up in a Terminator movie or some apocalyptic event because of AI. While companies like Google, OpenAI, and even Samsung invested heavily in AI infrastructure and integration, Apple was focused elsewhere, on privacy, design, and hardware synergy. But now, with AI becoming the next big wave, from generative tools to on-device smart features, Apple seems to be playing catch-up. For the first time in decades, Apple is not leading this race and is not even close behind a lot of these big giants. We got even companies like Xiaomi and Motorola having more AI features on their Androids than we have on Apple iOS. And I think that's a pressing issue for Apple. But you see, here's the problem. You can't build ROM in a day, in this case a few months. Samsung and Google have spent years slowly integrating AI, refining it update after update. What about Apple? Well, they had to sprint recently. This rush might explain why the new features in iOS 18 they rely on Apple Intelligence aren't stable. It's like joining a marathon halfway through without warming up. You might keep up for a few miles, but eventually the lack of preparations catches up with you. This doesn't mean Apple can't catch up, but right now they are in unfamiliar territory and the cracks are showing. Then we have the final reason in my analogy. Over-reliance on AI tools in development. One of the recent issues in coding is called vibe coding. When people start relying too much on AI without understanding the concept behind programming and security, and that leads to a lot of unoptimized applications and bugs and very little security around apps. I don't think that's the case with Apple though. As a coder myself, I can confidently say AI changed everything. ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, these tools make writing code faster, easier, and accessible, and at the same time, they save you a lot of time while debugging. But they also come at a cost. If developers start leaning too heavily on AI without fully understanding what they are doing, it leads to spaghetti code. Think of it like a self-driving car. It's incredibly useful, but if it makes a wrong turn and you don't know how to drive or the way it should go, you're stuck, right? The same goes for coding. If you rely on AI without understanding the logic or taking the time to clean up and test thoroughly, you end up with bugs. And if this approach made its way into parts of iOS 18, it might explain some of the messiness we're seeing right now. Again, AI is a tool, not a replacement for real understanding. As a matter of fact, I think AI, it's either gonna make us smarter or it's going to make us dumber than ever. So what happened to iOS 18? In short, old code, rushed innovation, and possibly misuse of powerful tools. Let's not forget, Apple has been here before. They've stumbled, but they've always had a remarkable ability to bounce back. Their legacy in the industry proves that. iOS 19, or possibly AppleOS as some leakers claim, could be their second win. Rumors suggest Apple is working on a fully reimagined operating system that takes better advantage of local AI, minimizes online data dependence, and restructures the system from the ground up. That could be the fresh start they need, and I've been keep saying this for ages right now. We don't need more gimmicks, but we rather need rock solid performance, efficiency, and seamless experience. So while iOS 18 might have been a rough ride, I wouldn't count Apple out yet. They missed the first AI train, but who knows, maybe they'll be driving the second one. Remember, the tech industry is a tough one. It's like swimming with sharks. Don't remember that companies like Nokia and Motorola have failed simply because they failed to adapt as quickly as the other companies. That can be the case even with big tech giants. Nokia used to be one of those back 20 years ago before iPhone released. And after iPhone released, everything changed. The way we interact with the world changed, and unfortunately we became glued to these bad boys. Have you experienced any weird bugs on iOS 18? Drop a comment down below. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more, stay smart, stay curious. My name is Reynald, and I'll see you in the next one.